Hello viewers, welcome back to the Homeworld Desert to Kharak Speedrunning tutorial playlist. This video we're going over Beladin Dune Sea. Let's get started. Beladin Dune Sea is pretty action-packed. There's a lot of fights in this mission, a lot of units, and you even fight an enemy carrier, so be some good action. This introduction, we heavily abuse the fact that you can issue commands while fleet intelligence is giving you objectives through the sensor manager. There are two big objectives you want to get done. You want to give a waypoint to the Capizzi, and you want to deploy 2 wings of strike fighters. Those are the most important. So go ahead and hit the home key, select the Capizzi to have them travel up here, and make sure you get 2 waves of strike fighters south of this production cruiser. You want to make sure they're on this dune. Once you get pretty good, you can probably issue several commands during the beginning, but right now we're just going to worry about these. So make sure you select these guys, and then once they reveal the production cruiser, select it so that they don't automatically auto-target something else. That's it. So now, make sure that your control groups are assigned. Get your railguns and assault ships to head to this location. You want all of your LAVs to head towards this production cruiser in this corner. They can use their boost ability. Make sure that your salvagers start harvesting this area. Put your support cruiser here, and then get Rachel up here too. Now lastly, make sure that you shunt power to Capizzi. You can use all of your power. This is the shunting that I use, so that's pretty good. And then at this point, you're just kind of waiting for your LAVs to get into position here. You can fire off some airstrike groups against the security patrol. It's normally in this little area, so just target your air. If you can micromanage it while using your LAVs, that's great, but otherwise they can just kind of target on their own. Alright. Avoid this assault ship formation if you can, and then use this dune here or this dune here to get some really good height advantage for this production cruiser. And they should mow it down rather quickly. Once it's destroyed, send them up over here and use your boost ability to get the heck out of here.
Armor, go ahead. New heading set.
So now you want your assault groups and your railguns as well as Rachel to attack this patrol. If the Capizzi is in line, or if the Capizzi is near, it's pretty handy. The Capizzi just absolutely shreds enemies. So these LAVs actually, sand skimmers actually followed them. That normally doesn't happen, and that actually could be a pretty big problem.
Enemy. Sakala, say again. What is the Ashoka's vector? Sakala, do you read? Over. Standing by. We are well within
so go ahead and use your Rachel's hack ability too, if able.
Alert. New class of Gaussian unit detected. It appears to be a
and then get these guys out of here, have them defend the Capizzi.
Armor ready. It is faster and has a higher rate of fire, but a shorter range. Disabled.
So it looks like we might need to build some LAVs. One thing about this mission is you do have time to kind of replenish your forces. So keep tabs of all of your control groups. If you start losing a lot of them, you do have time to replenish a certain battle group while you're kind of heading here. So my LAVs, they took a lot of hits, so it looks like I'm going to have to rebuild mostly all of them during this mission. Now your salvages actually go pretty quickly, so once they're able to, have them head up to this little group.
Support ready. Light attack vehicle on.
And then last thing we're doing is we're just kind of mopping up the security patrol. After that, have all of your units
destroyed.
Intel, I've managed to clean up the Sakala transmission. It's not perfect, but it's the best it's gonna get.
defend the Capizzi as it moves. And then the Capizzi has healing beams on, so your units can get healed up while this happens. And the Capizzi is really good at destroying enemy formations, so they should be good.
Rachel. All stations.
We're going to make sure that we have a good chunk of LAVs.
Unidentified hostile
And then now the Ashoka is going to appear.
Hostile carrier.
So your units will be moving during this cutscene. They'll get into position, which is pretty good.
Enemy carrier detected.
I actually really like this cutscene.
The Ashoka is heading towards a nearby resource deposit and is at full combat strength. Prepare defenses.
So one thing to note, the fleet intelligence officer is going to spout off a whole bunch of things after the Ashoka arrives. So while he's talking, the Capizzi and Rachel are invulnerable, as well as the Ashoka. So you can be hitting the Ashoka with like an entire fleet of railguns, and nothing is going to be damaging it. So just use that time to kind of get yourself into position. So once he finishes talking, you can just start dealing massive amounts of damage. But just be aware that the Ashoka is kind of invulnerable at that point.
Attention. Ready for orders.
So we want our units to kind of get right here.
Coordinates confirmed. Ready. Stand. PC moving out. Coordinates confirmed.
Ready.
I'm going to have Rachel.
Expended.
Attention.
This strike fighter needs to dock.
Strike. Hostile light attack vehicle.
So we're going to have the light attack vehicles use their boost ability. The goal for them is to have them act as a decoy. We want them to boost through these enemies, pull these groups of sand skimmers and assault ships over here, and then have them camp on this hill. Once you've dealt a lot of damage to the Ashoka, start backing up. Start backing up, get your units out of here. You'll likely take a lot of hits, but you're waiting for this huge energy buildup to fire off. It's actually a large EMP burst.
What the hell was that?
An electromagnetic pulse.
Multiple units disabled.
Estimate time to recovery.
Several minutes.
Until then, they're defenseless.
The Ashoka is...
So as you can see, all the Gelsian units are stuck, and most of your units are stuck through. The Capizzi is not. So during this point, we lost all of our LAVs. If you can queue up several railguns before that cutscene happens, that 10 seconds, 15 seconds, you can pump out quite a few railguns to help destroy the Ashoka. After that, most of your units, if you're quick enough, are far enough back that they weren't affected, and then they can fire on the Ashoka unhindered. Otherwise, the Ashoka is a lot faster than these units right here, and will likely overtake them. So as long as your units are moving backward, they just should fight the Ashoka on their own. You'll kind of see that play out.
We got a railgun.
So grab all your units, target the Ashoka, and then make sure that you give them a move command backwards.
Be advised. Group 2 lost.
So if you're feeling ballsy, you can launch airstrikes, but there are anti-air strikes, so you might take quite a bit of damage.
Energy signature detected. They are recharging the weapon.
Other than that, just keep heading backwards, and you should be dealing massive amounts of damage to the Ashoka. As you can see, it should fall fairly quickly.
Armored vehicle has been destroyed.
And there it goes.
You have proved a worthy opponent.
Personal log, Science Officer Rachel Sajet, Expedition Carrier.
So that was Beladin Dune Sea.
Jacob, you're on to something.
I'm gonna wait for
brother.
Rachel to stop talking, and then I'll kind of explain a couple things.
The tech
Alright,
we
so
found-
it's kind of like a big distraction force of LAVs to distract the Ashoka and all the units surrounding her. Make sure you get your LAVs on that dune behind it like I showed you, and then pull all of your units back once you deal a good chunk of damage to the Ashoka. A good time for that mission, I would say anything below 7 minutes is actually pretty good. My personal best was at 1.6 minutes and 37 seconds. Instead of redoing this mission fastly, I'm just going to link that video in the description, and then you can see that one for a pretty fast time. When I was attempting to make a tutorial for this mission, I actually beat the mission in 6 minutes and 30 seconds. So I have a new personal best, and that was kind of weird. But anyways, I'm just going to link my individual level of this mission, 6 minutes 37 seconds. It shows in great deal how to use the beginning cutscene where fleet intelligence is giving you your objectives. It shows in great detail how you can move all of your units while that cutscene is taking on. So check that out in the description if you'd like to see a faster playthrough of this mission to kind of get a feel for how everything goes. And just, I would say, practice this mission a lot because you can lose a lot of time. But other than that, if you lose a lot of units in this mission, you might want to consider restarting your run. You do have time to rebuild them in the next mission, but if you have to rebuild your entire fleet, it's kind of difficult to do the next mission fast. So this is kind of like a choke point in the run, is making sure that you do Beladin Dune Sea efficiently, quickly, and you don't lose a lot of units. So it takes quite a bit of practice. And that's all I have to say about that. So thank you all for watching. Make sure to rate, comment, and subscribe. Stay tuned for the next video where we're going over Gaussian base. And that's it. Take care.